Alright, we are officially done in New Zealand. We've made it to Fiji, but we wanted to bring a recap of our 3 weeks in New Zealand. We're going to share one favorite highlight, one thing we do differently next time, and one thing we found the most interesting about the country. Kate, start us off with your favorite highlight.
Alright, my favorite highlight was in our last 3 days in New Zealand. We were in Auckland, and the guy we were staying with had a Hungarian couple, an Australian woman, and us all there at the same time. So it was really cool to just have the different cultures all in one place. We got to experience a classic Hungarian meal. We made a classic American meal, nachos, and then we just played games, hung out, and got to meet people from all over.
It was cool. A Kiwi, Aussie, Hungarians, Americans, all under the same roof. My favorite was our walk up to Chard Farms Winery in Queenstown. It had my 3 favorite things. It had mountains, a rushing river, and rows of vineyards, all in this picturesque scene. It was incredible. Alright, one thing we do differently next time. I would spend more time in Wellington. We spent 1 night there, but this city reminded me a lot of San Francisco. It was a busy downtown district. It had homes sitting on these hills, people walking in throughout the streets that were closed off.
Yeah, it was a cool city.
Yeah, the city sits on the southern tip of the North Island,
yeah.
So I just spend more time there.
Yeah, and then my thing I would do differently has to do with the camper van. So we've made a couple videos about our camper van experience, but we drove a camper van basically from Auckland down to Christchurch, and what I would do differently is spend more time in one place and less time trying to see too many places. We were like trying to see way too much along the drive, and so it made us feel like every day we were basically just driving all day, every day. So instead what I would do is pick a cool place or a city, probably Wellington, drive straight there right off the bat, spend the time there, explore around there, and then drive to Christchurch on the last day.
Alright, next is the thing most interesting about the country.
Yeah, so something unique about New Zealand is their lack of predators. They have no dangerous predators to watch out for, so usually when you go to a country you have to be aware of creature, critter, spider, snake, something to watch out for. But in New Zealand, there are none of those. So there's no snakes on either island. There's no poisonous spiders. There's no bears, mountain lions, cougars, nothing dangerous that you have to watch out for, which I loved, but it's very unique for a country to have.
Mine is also animal related. There are more sheep that live in New Zealand than there are people. There's about 5 million people who live in New Zealand, so that means there's over 5 million sheep.
Yeah, it's a lot of
And as
sheep.
we drove throughout the country, there were sheep everywhere on our drive.
Mm-hmm. So those are our highlights from New Zealand. We want to know what type of things you guys want us to include in future highlight videos. We'll do this after each country, so let us know what you want us to put in there. And then secondly, we are also going to do a video. The video coming up next is our accommodation recap video. So we'll tell you how we spent only $2 on accommodations for the entire 3 weeks in New Zealand. So look out for that video. And then lastly, we just want to give a shout out to our friends, the Wests. They're from Texas, but they're living in Hawaii for the year. And so similar to us, they're documenting their experience and their travels and exploring around Hawaii. So if you want to follow some cool people, Ricky and Aubrey West are their names. We will link them somewhere here. And yeah.